we want to go on to our next keynote presentation, and that comes from the Chief Executive Officer at Digiwell, or Digiwell, however you want to pronounce that. Dr. Patrick Kramer is here to take the stage.
Hello.
Have fun.
Thank you very much. Do I have a clicker? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon here in Hanover. I have the pleasure to sort of setting the stage for what is going to happen when we show Ghost in the Shell. What we are doing here at CeBIT is like the next level of digital transformation. The main topic that we hear at CeBIT and in the news all over. Everything is getting digital, but how far is digitalization going? And where are we at the moment? And what is fact? What is fiction? What is the future? I have the pleasure to talk about digital transformation extreme, as we call it, the human body. Are humans 4.0? What are cyborgs? What are we doing in terms of body hacking, biohacking? All these terms you might have heard before. I have the honor to talk about a little bit. Setting the stage for the trailer, setting the stage for the panel discussion. And we have some really interesting people coming with me later on stage today. Digital transformation extreme, humans upgrading as well. So why should digitalization stop in our environment, within our computers? Why not bringing it to the next level? And this is what I can tell you. A little bit entertaining presentation. Humans have always had the desire to upgrade, to develop, to use tools to become better, faster, stronger. And first, sort of humans using or have been using technology, tools, simple tools, all the time. It's in nature, it's in the DNA of ourselves. In the latest years, we have upgraded our bodies. We call this wearable technology. Having the first wearable technology late last century that is coming on. And we all know this technology is getting closer to our body. And in these cases, it was bulky, it was big, but technology is getting smaller. And we call people with embedded technology actually, and you know this term probably, cyborgs. Yeah? Cyborgs, cybernetic organism, being a being with both organic and biomechatronic body parts, like the one I've shown you. So, but the term cyborg itself, right? So if you hear about it, if the majority of people hears about it, what do they think? And there are, especially coming from Hollywood movies, some cliches, some stereotypes that you might know about. Some of you have heard about the $6 million man, one of the first cyborgs Hollywood presented or generated. Probably these days you would call it the $6 billion man, you know, 6 million, not even the microchip is possible anymore. This was like one of the most famous cyborgs we had in the times, in the 70s, 80s. But there's another one, a very famous cyborg that you all have heard about before. The arch villain cyborgs, Mr. Darth Vader, right? Used to be a human, got electronic parts to his body, some parts were replaced, and so by definition, we would call him a cyborg. He's not my favorite one. My favorite one is a guy called Inspector Gadget. You might have heard about him, yeah? He's from the cartoons and from the movies. Can you raise your hand? How many cyborgs have you seen today? Is there anyone in this room who has seen more than 10 cyborgs today? 5? 5? You have? I know you. 2, 3? Yeah, some first arms, right? Cyborgs these days don't look like the gentleman on the slide. Cyborgs these days, they are disguised. They come in all forms and shapes. And usually they look like this, right? So, you know, wearing body parts which are electronics and having replaced some of the parts. So this is a typical cyborgs, actually, that we are encountering every day on our streets. But Hollywood, of course, has a different picture for us. These people have some, as I said, some parts in their body upgraded or changed with technology. And we know this especially technology from a medical point of view. We talk these days about brain stimulation, hormone coils, mind-controlled prostheses, pacemakers, insulin pump, cochlear implants. So it's great technology that help the deaf to hear, the blind to see, and the people without legs, for instance, to walk again. So technology is really getting us to, or getting people who are suffering from a disease or from a loss of a body part to give them a sort of a normal life. And the more advanced our technology gets, of course, the more normal this life can get. But there's a different sort of technology also evolving that is not so much in our minds. Technology or upgrades that have not a medical function and which are purely by open willingness to embrace this kind of technology, to give your body skills that you didn't have before. So, for example, there are quite popular people adding magnets to their fingers. So you implant basically magnets to your fingertips, and you're giving your body the capability to sense electromagnetic fields and electrofields. Yeah? So it's a tickling sensation in a very sensitive spot in your fingertips where you actually can feel then electricity. That's a typical form of upgrades, adding a sixth sense to your body. There are other forms now coming up. This, for instance, is the North Sense. It's a semi-implanted device that you attach to your body that sort of vibrates when you're facing your body towards north, giving you back this ancient sense of where actually it's not, a sense that is inherited in our animals and our birds. You can have that now as a human. Another example I like to share with you could be something like this, the sense for time. Why not having a device in your body that sort of goes hotter and hotter the more closer you come to the sun rising? So 12 noon, it's quite hot, and then the longer the day goes, the colder it gets. So you get back a sense for time without looking at a watch, without looking outside. You sort of feel the time. It's another sense that has been done today. Then other implants, for instance, another example, we call them the firefly. Why not having implants that allow your body to glow in the dark? The firefly, I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but there's this little implant there. It glows in the dark. Half time of this is 6 years. So it's a little bit radioactive, and you just implant that, and you glow in the dark. It's been done. You can choose between yellow and green. It's tritium-based, it's a little bit radioactive. It's the same material that you find, for instance, in exit signs that glow in the dark. If you really want to glow in the dark, if that's not enough, and you think, well, it would be cool to have your built-in torch, why not go for LCD implants? And body hackers are doing this, grinders are doing this. So we are testing what is possible with the body and what is not. Here, this was 2 years ago in Düsseldorf, where we embedded first LCD implants to bodies. And the skin actually is a very nice matter. It is very translucent, and you can actually see really nicely what's glowing behind or what's glowing underneath. So working with LCD implants, they last for about, the battery in that lasts for about 2-3 years. Then it needs to be cut off and changed. and you activate them basically with your magnets in your fingers. If that's not enough, why not having a Bluetooth device in your body? A friend of mine, Tom, he implanted what we call the Circadia. It's a Bluetooth device that connects to your smartphone, has a battery inside, and gives you your body temperature. And you can read it. It was a pretty big thing there. He had it in his body for about 3 months, giving his body the capability to communicate with a smartphone and giving out data. And you might think, well, this is bizarre, but why would you do that? I'm telling you, it's just the basic. We learn a lot from doing this. Yeah, we understand how technology works inside a human body. What is possible? How far can you move your skin and things like this? Lately there has been appeared another implant. This is the first time that I'm presenting this. I'm maybe not finding the right words. It's called the Lovetron 9000. It's a human vibrator that men implant in their pelvis, and you can stimulate it, and it vibrates inside having sexual intercourse. And if that's not enough, you can even sync it to the music in your bedroom. So that's a It was a bit difficult to find the right picture there, so I thought that's, romantic. If you want one, ask me. I can get you in touch to the company doing this. As I said, these are all implants, and there are others. Yeah, there are others. There are many more. Some has a more medical reason why people put it in. Others more an art reason. Others for experimental. What you can do with technology inside your body. And these implants have a very specific function, right? So what I show you. There are other implants, which are coming now on my next slides too, which are more a universal key, enabling your body to interact with machines, giving you a direct link to communicate with machines. And this is what we call microchip implants, so the everyday implants. Microchips being embedded under the skin inside your body. And I know this topic is very much discussed. And I'm telling you, what you read in the news about it, 99% is wrong, okay? There's a big hype about it, and everyone thinks they know things about it, but basically a lot of myths and fairy tales around it. And I hope I can show you a little bit what is really behind microchip implants, which are becoming more and more popular. So some of the application, and that's of course the typical question, so microchip implant, what would you do with a microchip implant? They are classic functions, for instance, you can store information on it. So it's like a little USB stick, and you can put, for instance, PIN numbers on it, your bonus cards, key cards, link to your social media profiles, lock and unlock your smartphones, your business cards, wedding vows, yeah, health insurance, in case of emergency, telephone number. So it's basically up to the wearer or to the owner of the implant what kind of information they want to store in it. Personally, I'm wearing one. I'm having a microchip implant. I have my business card, for instance, and my wedding vow. My wife also, she's having our wedding vows under the skin in an implant. Other people, they tattoo their the name of their beloved ones or their children or the date of birth. We add that. We think it's sort of cyber romantic. So everyday usage, and you can share your contact details, for instance, simply by passing over your hand to a smartphone that acts as a reader. There are other applications that are not so much in the information side, but more in the identification and accessing side. And these are like videos. I hope they work now. For instance, entering a gym. We all know this. We have these RFID cards going into the gym. No one wants to run around with these, You just identify with your hand, and you are good to go. And some very modern gyms, they also have machines where you can swipe your card and they adjust the weight for you. So you don't have to do it yourself because it's heavy. And you can basically do some sort of sports logging, live logging on the machines. Another example, which is more and more popular in Asia especially, would be a smart toilet. I was always wondering, how does the toilet know if you're a big family who's sitting there? Analyzing your morning urine, you simply swipe your hand and the toilet knows, okay, this data belongs to this person. Different application, starting machines. So only with the right contact, with the right key, basically, you can go. Or opening your car, so no one else can open it and drive around it. No more keys in this case. If you look into the office, you may want to share, instead of saying to the photocopy machine, it's me, you simply swipe your hand. If you're entering a building, instead of swiping your card that you can forget or something, you identify yourself with your implant, and maybe in business hours, off business hours, you also have a PIN code. Or here, accessing a garage, opening your doors, no more keys again. This is American lock with a deadbolt. Hope you can see it. Next clip. Yeah. So let me go here. We just had that. This is me, for instance, coming home. Just to share that with you. That's our door at home. Come in there, the door is locked. I'm just showing that. Usually it's first hand, and we are good to go. Not everyone in the family, of course, has an implant. You simply have an RFID card or a token, a fob, that replaces that. Then another example, what you could do with this was really crazy. We did that last year. We had DNA music that we had on the microchip implant, and implanting that to the person here would be great if we had sound now. But right after the implantation of the chip, she was basically playing music, her DNA music from her hand. It was an incredible moment. This has never been done before.
Excellent.
It was in Austria, Vienna. Now, another sort of killer case for microchip implants. So we are already reducing, when you think about it, what's every day we carry around keys, wallet, and smartphone with us, right? So no one in this room, I would assume, has left the house this morning without these three things. I have eliminated already one of that. I don't worry about my keys. I can always get in. So the next step would be eliminating your wallet. Why would you need money? There's this little clip.
I can't believe you just paid with this hand. Like, you just literally put your hand up, and you're good to go. Like, that's crazy. Yep. So you're good to go. That was so sick, dude. That was sick.
Yes!
That was gnarly.
That was insane!
I would bet that in about 10 years, it's kind of abnormal to carry around a wallet that's just stuffed full of cash.
That's insane. Paying with the hands. What's next? Paying with the foot?
So what's next? Paying with your butt? So this is like first to get an idea how it is to have a cashless life and not to worry about cards to identify. I mean, on these cards, you simply have a number, right? You have your wallet is full of cards with numbers on it. Why not replacing them with a number in your hand? Another example we did here in the Netherlands was, why not entering public transportation? We don't need that. Or even boarding an airplane. Who needs or who wants a smartphone ticket? It's so old-fashioned if you can just board an airplane with your hand. I mean, that's so much better. So there are, and these are just examples of what people are doing with microchip implants, okay? So what's on the list next? We have, for instance, Everywhere where you need to identify yourself, let's say your driver's license, put it on the hand, and if the policeman comes off, say, give me a driver's license, here's my hand, it's red, and you're good to go. You cannot forget your driver's license. Wonderful. Smart home authentication. It's basically, it doesn't matter what you connect to your system. Your hand can identify yourself in your house or triggers some impulse that you can go, why not communicating with your heating system so that it knows even how you feel, okay? Why not, or you can tell the music in your house, if I'm in this room, please play this music. If someone else is in another room, play another music, and you simply identify yourself with your implant. Coupon cards, we all know this. Do you collect points? This is the question in most supermarkets or wherever we go shopping. No, I don't want another card. Thank you, my wallet is already full of stuff. Get rid of it. It's just the plastic number that they want to give you. Anti-theft smartphones, you can protect your devices around you with a key that's stored on your hand. Universal public transportation ticket, we just saw that. Global wallet, there's now a platform launch, it's called CeBIT.me, where we connect hands or implants with payment solutions. So it's brand new. I think these days now it's going to be launched. It's not fully functional right now, but this is going to be the future in terms of payments with your hand. Rising interest across Europe. So worldwide, we estimate that we are about 50,000 people already wearing microchip implants without any medical functions, purely voluntarily, and the interest is getting stronger. Usually, you buy those implants online. It's quite handy, and you're going to get a kit to your house sent by the post where you find everything to upgrade yourself to become a cyborg. You're either brave enough to do it yourself, or you go to a piercer or doctor who can do that. But when I say a microchip implant, I'm actually talking about there are 8 different ones we are sort of having in our radar at the moment. Different frequencies, different functions, different forms. They are either embedded in glass or they are based on a biopolymer that you just push under the skin. And as I said, the skin is very translucent, so you can really communicate well with machines. There's a special one, it's called the Vivo key. Don't worry, these are not the final sizes. They are much, much smaller. We're actually working at the moment on beta versions, testing them in our bodies. Vivo key is basically a Java application that allows you to generate passwords within your body. So you are no longer be hackable from the outside, because whenever you need a password, you don't store it on your PC, you don't store it on your mobile phone, and you generate it in the implant inside your body. And this is so important because it helps, it's a first step into payment via implant, to identify yourself in the digital world that you are the person you are supposed to be. It's a mild step forward. I'm looking a little bit at the time. Let's talk about the future. So where's this all going? So what are we doing now? Sometimes it feels like, Apple in the 70s, computers made of wood. This is the kind of generation of implants we are talking here today. And no presentations about Cyborg without a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger, for instance. That's not possible. By definition, he isn't even a cyborg, he's a robot. So in the future, so what's coming? There has just been announced a market research study showing or indicating that of 70% of the teens worldwide which are asked, so could you imagine wearing a digital implant to improve, to enhance your digital experience? And 70% of those teenagers said, yes, of course, I'm willing. So it doesn't matter if we like it or not. This new generation is coming up, and they don't even feel as being a normal biological being anymore. They also have a digital identity. And this digital identity in some cases is even stronger than the normal one. And they are looking for new applications to enrich their digital life. But these are the teenagers today. So what about the kids that are born, 2012, 13 or something? This is my son. He's growing up with parents who are already cyborgs. He has never seen a door key in his life, maybe with his granny. For him, it's normal to reach out your hand, and he's sort of imitating already the movement that he sees with his parents. Of course, he's not wearing a microchip implant. Well, I'm saying, of course, think about it. It's culturally accepted in our society that when you are a very young girl and they punch your earrings, for instance, that's culturally accepted. 8-month-old, I've just seen a video, it's fully okay. But if I would implant my son, who's 2 years now, a microchip implant, I think the press would go crazy about it. And a microchip implant in this case is far less harmful, even from a medical perspective. So this generation is coming up, and we are predicting that in 2030s, we'll enter a totally new world, okay? So digitalization is just starting in our vision of the future. Of course, there are other visions, but in this vision, when I see where implant technology is now and where it's developing and what we are doing, we think that in about 10, 20 years, we are going to send nanobots to your brain. The brain itself is like the holy grail of biohackers, okay? And as soon as you work with nanobots, they are swimming, they're inside your body, you'll be able to connect your nervous system, your neocortex, to a cloud. And in the same manner that we were using our smartphones a couple of years ago and connecting them to the cloud, enabling them to be 10,000 times more powerful with all this cloud technology, it's going to be happen within our brains as well. So we are expand to the cortex. In 1998, first brain implants producing high quality signals. A couple of years later, a monkey was able to control a robot arm, so that has started. In 2014, direct brain-to-brain communication through the internet was done successfully. Last year, we had the first scientists who discovered on how to upload knowledge into the cloud and download it when needed. So what did they do? They basically saved what is going on in the brain of an experienced pilot. They saved that kind of movement in the brain, and they had like pilots in training flying the same route and uploading the mental stimulus, what is happening in the brain, to that pilot, and they sort of halved the time he had to learn how to fly. So this happened last year. And so if we think about, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be the future, but I can really imagine that this is going to happen. And I think it's a perfect path into the movie that we are going to see, because this is really the intersection of what is happening today into a future we cannot even think about anymore, because it's so advanced and so digitalized. In the future, we are connected humans. We are not talking anymore about the Internet of Things. It's just objects. We are talking about the Internet of us. Yeah, us as in humans. We are connecting ourselves to the cloud. We will do brain-to-brain communication. We will experience feelings directly from other loved ones. We will Google on the brain. We search for a different language. We meet someone in the street who doesn't speak our language. We simply connect and get the right words. Intelligence is no longer a matter of, training or DNA. It's also a matter of, do you have the right microchip implant and how powerful it is? So scalable intelligence will become the future. Living in a virtual world, we're now using these glasses. In the future, with brain implants, you can control your avatar in the street just purely by thinking. You are basically turning into that avatar. remember everything and cross-reference could be another example. Jesus. So what happened 2017 here? How was the weather? Did that influence? So you don't forget anymore. The cloud doesn't forget. And you can access that knowledge. If you now think, and I used to say, okay, this might take 20 years, who knows? But it's a logical step. 3 days ago, I read this. Elon Musk reveals plans to install computers directly into human brains. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to think about 10 to 20 or 30 years. Maybe I should rather talk about 5 to 10 years. If companies like these and Elon Musk are behind it, and as far as I know, in Silicon Valley, the brain and everything that's happening, connecting, digitalizing, that's possible to digitalize within the brain, this is for me the next logical step, to connect the brain into the future. What we are doing at CeBIT is just a tiny little step enabling our clients over there in our booth to experience what it is to become a cyborg. We do implant technology over there, so you can get your upgrade. And the interest is just phenomenal. And I think overall, it's a vision of the future, which is probably may happen. But what is exciting about it, we're going to see now in the movie. And I welcome you all to watch it and enjoy the 8 minutes trailer. And I'd like to thank you for being here and listening. Thank you.
So we've got a minute or two. You can drink some water.
Yeah, my voice is almost gone.
Before we go to the movie, but a couple of things. This brain-to-brain communication. I know that I think Mark Zuckerberg has talked about that as well.
Right.
This idea of telepathy, and that we won't even need, maybe one day we won't even need gadgets at all. Do you see us going to that point where could I literally stand beside you, and I'm thinking something right now, and are you able to read my mind?
Oh, I'm already doing this.
And what do you see?
No.
We have children in the audience. No, but I mean, do you think we'll get to that point?
Yes, definitely. And there's already a term for us, actually. It's called shy tech. So shy technology that you don't even see as technology anymore. And who wants all these smartphones, all these gadgets and smartwatches?
Right.
We need to manage that. As you say, do I have it, everything? We don't want that. That's not natural, right?
Okay.
So getting rid of that, having technology that you don't even realize as being there, I think miniaturization, nanotechnology, what we saw yesterday also.
Yep.
If you just add one and one together, it's just the next logical step. So my point is, yes, we are talking about digital transformation today, but I think it's just the tip of the iceberg, what we're actually seeing, and which, according to yesterday, it's coming much quicker than we can even imagine today.
Okay.